It's about 8 o'clock in the morning on Thursday, March 23rd, 2023. The cows again were at the far end of the pasture, loafing around. This is the last cell that they had, and this corner here, they really didn't eat much at all. If anything, they just kind of skipped the whole thing. But they did get probably 75% of it, more or less. Here's some evidence of grazing. Let me kind of zoom in on that for you. So they grazed a little, like right here, but like here they completely missed it. And I guess there is an old manure patty there. But look at this over here. They got this. They kind of skipped this. Oh, again, there's old manure patties here. They're just kind of getting more picky, I guess, because they have more food to choose from. Yeah, today it's 70 degrees right now. It's fairly humid. Cloudy, as you can tell. There's no sun, just light. Grass is should really start growing now with this temperature and the recent moisture and the oh, look, grasshoppers. We have grasshoppers again. I kind of zoom in there. Oh, there he goes. Yeah. Oh man, I do need to get the birds out here. I watched a video, and again, this is not the gospel truth by any stretch of the imagination, but the idea of the video is that insects don't eat healthy plants. If the plant has enough sugar in it, there's no insect on planet Earth that can eat that plant and survive. All the insects have a problem where when they eat sugar, their body can't handle it. And so the insects only thrive on dead or dying plants or plants that are barely alive. And so they serve a purpose ecologically in weeding out the plants that just aren't doing well. Those are my dogs down there in the distance, if you could see. And so the idea is that if we weren't forcing our plants to grow by force feeding them fertilizer and things like that, if we let the plants do what they're supposed to do and grow healthy, then they would be producing plenty of sugar on their own, and so the insects couldn't survive eating the plants, so you wouldn't lose your crop to insects. I don't know how true that is, but that's the theory. And so I guess the goal is not to kill the insects, but the goal is to grow healthy plants that can survive the insects, because every plant on planet Earth has to survive with insects, and so they have to have some kind of mechanism where they can survive surrounded by insects. Otherwise, nothing would be alive, right? Because the insects would have eaten everything a long time ago. So I'll just focus on growing grass and let the grasshoppers do their thing. And if the grasshoppers decide to reproduce and make a lot of little baby grasshoppers, then I'll bring the chickens and birds out here. I know the Muscovy ducks love to eat grasshoppers, so we'll see what happens this year. Last year the grasshoppers were pretty strong. The year before they were really strong in my pasture, but I can't really say one way or the other whether they did harm or good. After all, the whole point is to eat the plants and poop it into the soil so that we can get stronger plants. And if the insects want to help do that, then I'm game. Let the insects eat what they can, and cows will eat the rest. So once we get healthy soil and strong plants, the insects will find that they've done what most of nature does, which is work its way out of its own niche. Niche? I don't know. N-I-C-H-E, right? So everything overstays its welcome in nature. Nature brings everything back to balance. So if there's too much of one thing, nature has a way to bring it back to where it's supposed to be. Anyway. Yep. Even the areas in between those little grass mountains, plenty of grass. Plenty of grass. Let's go check out the manure if I can find any. I'm worried. Oh, look at this, is full of clovers. These are all clovers. So this bare spot of ground where there's hardly any grass is just full of clovers. Anyway, let's go see. Oh, what is this? That's an interesting plant. Nice and fuzzy. All right, let's go look for manure patties. They're probably still runny. Here's a nice patch of grass they just walked by. There's that thorn bush I was looking at yesterday. All right, cows, where's your manure patties? I'm not seeing any. That's not good. The goal is to have them put manure patties down. Well, at least they're peeing out here, right? There's one, not looking very good. A couple flies on it. Here's another. More flies. There's a couple. Well, this one's firmed up a little bit. It's not terrible. Oh, I should mention I saw a dung beetle eating a piece of dog poo near the entrance gate. And when I came back later, there was a hole that I could probably stick my finger in, freshly dug, in a part where, is this part of this? Yeah, this is the edge. There was a hole that was freshly dug, and I think that's where the dung beetle was storing the dog poo. So dung beetles are good. I like dung beetles. I want lots of dung beetles. They like to dig holes. They like to bring things downstairs. That's good, especially in my clay type soil. Anything that wants to dig up my soil is more than welcome to. Get some oxygen down there. Bring some carbon downstairs. I want to build a thick layer of soil. So, yeah, that's all they got for you. Here, they skipped this weed. No, they nibbled it. They nibbled at it. It's just near a patty, an old patty. They're probably like, I don't like that smell. They moved on. So, I had an idea of maybe starting in the west and moving east using a back fence. And that way they're more likely to loaf around on this side of the pasture. Maybe next rotation I'll do that. I don't know. I'll mix it up. You know, it's the middle of the pasture where it's not very good. The two ends are doing pretty well. So, all right, guys. Have a beautiful day. Take care and bye-bye.